Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Yamada and the Seven Witches, Chapter 105. And in this chapter, we learn more about Moegi. We learn that she uses her doll, Satori, as an intermediary for her witch power, which means that rather than her kissing people, the doll kisses people, and it still allows her to put her power on them, use her power on them. So Yamada decides he's going to go kiss the doll and copy Moegi's power. And he sets out to do that at lunchtime. And he brings along a doll of his own, Shoba, which is based off of yakisoba bread, which I thought was funny and interesting. I thought that was funny. Uh, um, and he goes out, starts up a conversation with Moegi, and Moegi uses she pretty much ends up doing exactly what Yamada wants. She kisses him using Satori. Alright. However, the power doesn't copy over, which is when Yamada and Sid and Nancy realize, oh, okay, so in order to copy your power, you legitimately do have to kiss her. And that's when they're like, okay, yeah, we're done with this. We just give up on joining us because if you kiss her, she'll get suspicious, and we don't want her to get suspicious. That's the entire reason why we brought you in on this, because we want to figure out what her power is without getting her suspicious. So, yeah, they leave, and Yamada he doesn't give up. He goes to talk with Jean and Midori to see what kind of information they have on Moegi that they looked up, and turns out that while Moegi has used her power on everyone in the class, she also somehow has something in common with every member of her class. So that's got a little hint towards what we learn at the end of the chapter. Um, and while Yamada is talking with Jean and Midori, Moegi actually shows up, so they have to leave. And she ends up telling Yamada that her and Satori want to meet up with him after school, probably because she realizes that she can't read Yamada's mind, which is the power that we realize she has. Um, she realizes that she can't read Yamada's mind, her power didn't work on him, so she probably wants to try it again and figure out why it's not working. Um, so yeah, then like I said, then the chapter is when we find out that she can use that she's a mind reader, because one of the things that she talks about with Yamada is that she demonstrates that she's got a lot of information about him and others and how they feel and stuff like that. Like she's just really good at gathering information. And she mentioned that Kimishima, that one girl from a while back, I don't really remember all the details of her story arc. I remember it had something to do with the club room and how she didn't want to give up her club room. She was like they wanted to do some like demolition or something in an old school building, and she was the only one holding them up because she kept voting no for it. And I think they ended up getting locked in the room with her at one point. I don't know, it was something like that, right? But it turns out that she likes Yamada, which is pretty obvious if you look at her reactions to him. And Yamada goes to talk to her and saying, like, do you know anything about Moegi? And she says, no, as a matter of fact, I've never even talked to her before. So Yamada says, wait, if you've never talked to her before, then how does she know who you like? She's like, wait, well, I've never told anyone that before. What do you mean? So Yamada takes that and deduces that her power is mind reading, which is kind of a jump in logic, but I mean, because what if she's just like Sean Spencer or something from Psych, and she just has really good powers of observation? Because again, it's pretty obvious she likes Yamada. All you have to do is look at her when Yamada walks by. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So, but I think it's kind of a jump in logic, but it does make sense, seeing as though she's used her power on everyone in the class, and she has something in common with everyone in the class. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to have something in common with everybody in your class unless you've read their mind to find out what exactly it is that they're interested in. So, yeah, um, yeah. So that's it for this chapter. I'll give it. I guess I'll give it like a 7.5 out of 10. That seems about right because we learned a little bit about Moegi, but again, like a decent amount of the chapter was like comedy with Jean, Midori, Shoba, Satori. even Sid had some comedic moments in this chapter. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10, and that's that. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.